Hello lads, lassies, and those of unspecified gender, it's the Irishman here, and today I'm going to be talking about what would have happened if Gohan trained like Goku. For a while now, my goal was to hit 1,000 subscribers. Once I did that, I would make this very what if. The reason for me making it right now is because I hit that very milestone I have been trying to achieve for the past few months of making what ifs. Now that we've hit it, we are covering this topic, and I really do hope you enjoy. I couldn't have made it without all of you, so thank you. And if you haven't already liked the video, subscribed to the page, or even hit the notification bell, I would greatly recommend you do that, not only for my sake, but also because then you won't miss out on any of my videos. Although, enough self-promoting. Let's get into the story of this what if. Now, if I'm being entirely real here, not much changes in the first big portion of Z, seeing as Gohan was a child for most of it. During the entirety of the Saiyan Saga, nothing really would change. Gohan training like Goku doesn't really matter when he's being trained by Piccolo. He would still get just as strong in the Saiyan Saga, although entering the Namek Saga he would be a bit tougher. Although, even though he's made of tougher stuff, it's still not tough enough, so he wouldn't really be able to fare much against the Emperor Lord Frieza, or any of his henchmen. After getting his potential unlocked, he would certainly be stronger, but still not strong enough. Then, entering the Android Saga, this is where we see some pretty big changes, seeing as Gohan here will be training with Goku for 3 whole years. In fact, even before the 3-year time skip, he would have an entire year and 4 months to train on his own, wherein he would probably do gravity training as well as possibly attempting to attain Super Saiyan. And although I don't think he'd be able to do it on his own just yet, during the 3 years, it's definitely something he could do. I honestly believe both him and Goku would be able to get up to Super Saiyan Grade 2 by the time the androids attack. Now, that's not saying that they'd be as strong as characters like Super Vegeta or Trunks, but they are still certainly incredibly powerful. Their mastery over the form is just a bit better. But it doesn't really matter because Goku would be taken out by Android 19. Or at least, the heart virus would take him out, and then Android 19 would just kind of steal the deal. But before he can actually be killed, Yamcha would step in, taking Goku away and bringing him back to his home, where he can be given the medicine for the heart virus as well as treated for his wounds. Although luckily for the group, Goku wasn't the only Super Saiyan there. Gohan was almost as strong as his father and able to fill Goku's spot in the fight, killing 19. Now, he doesn't exactly like killing people, although when it comes down to it, he knows he has to in some circumstances. When the going gets tough, Gohan has to get tough and get going. So now with 19 killed, they would all gang up on Gero, but he would still be able to flee. In fact, with Vegeta's arrival in his Super Saiyan glory, well, that would buy Gero enough time to actually flee. And since nobody can sense his power, yeah, he's able to get away. He'd release 17-18, and although Gohan is certainly powerful here, even with Super Saiyan Grade 2, he isn't as strong as even one of the androids. Well, maybe he's as strong as one of them, but the two together, that's an entirely different deal. Now, again, Super Saiyan Grade 2 Gohan here is not as strong as Super Saiyan Grade 2 Vegeta or Trunks. Not even close. He just has better mastery over the form. He's still only roughly compared to someone like Goku or Vegeta here. Now, for most of the rest of the arc, it plays out pretty similarly. Vegeta and Trunks entering the Time Chamber, getting to Super Saiyan Grade 2 and even Grade 3 for Trunks, and then fighting Semi-Perfect Cell, then Perfect Cell, who would promptly beat the crap out of Vegeta, which is pretty deserved, and then Goku and Gohan would enter the Time Chamber for their turn, and they would actually get incredibly powerful, more so than in the original. Seeing as both Goku and Gohan already had Super Saiyan as well as even Grade 2, the two of them were able to make quick work of the Super Saiyan transformation and master it completely. And seeing as they'd be able to master Super Saiyan far earlier on than in the original because Gohan already had Super Saiyan and even Grade 2, so they didn't really have to teach him how to activate Super Saiyan, well, the two of them would actually be able to get up to Super Saiyan 2, and even master that form, being able to stay in it the entire time, almost as if it didn't even take up any energy. But Gohan Well, he's on the verge of something even greater. He knows it's there. He knows it's deep within. He can achieve it, but it's just right out of his grasp. He can't quite achieve it. Not yet, that is. Then the two of them would exit the room in their perfected Super Saiyan 2 states, and everyone is in awe. They're so incredibly powerful, and Cell on the outside would feel this power as well. Being so shocked and surprised, he actually decides, screw the Cell games! He has to find out what this is, immediately flying up to the lookout and asking what this incredible power is, how Goku and Gohan got this strong. Gohan would get into a fighting position, being defensive because, hey, this is the guy that's trying to destroy the planet. But Goku instead would be pretty casual about it and say that they were able to get a year's worth of training in a day. Cell would say that's cheating, they're cheating, how are they this strong, that's not fair. But then Goku would actually even offer Cell to do the same. He can go into the Room of Spirit and Time if he really wants. The group looks at him. What the hell is Goku doing? But Goku says to just trust him, and Cell, realizing that Goku is giving him the opportunity of a lifetime, would step into the room, entering and then preparing to begin his training. Although the second he enters, Goku would proceed to blast the door into smithereens, trapping Cell inside of the Room of Spirit and Time, and he doesn't really have any way to get out. Then Goku would look over to Dende and ask if he can find some way to kind of hard reset the Room of Spirit and Time, effectively annihilating Cell once and for all. And everybody is shocked beyond belief, but Goku would explain his reasoning here. First off, Cell was a threat to the planet. He knows people like this, especially if he has any sort of Frieza DNA inside of him, he could pull a risky maneuver and try and just blow the planet up when he's losing. And that wouldn't be fair, plus it could end up actually causing the Z-Fighter's downfall. At the same time, Cell could actually end up killing a lot of people while they were waiting for the Cell games to begin, and even during the Cell games. So it wasn't really fair to the Earth to allow him to continue to live. Plus, it's not like Goku even wanted a fair fight with the guy because he was just so weak in comparison at this point. Both Goku and Gohan having mastered Super Saiyan 2, and Gohan's actually on the verge of Super Saiyan 3. Cell wasn't really anything to them anymore. So he thought it'd just be best to get rid of Cell with no casualties, tricking him, using his brains to good effect, like he did in the Cell games before he became stupid Super Goku. But despite what Akira Toriyama wanted, the Cell games was not the ending of the Dragon Ball franchise. We return for the Buu Saga, wherein we have, no Buu Saga. I'm sorry, it just wouldn't happen, seeing as Gohan is incredibly powerful. Most of the arc goes pretty much the same up until Gohan fights against Deborah. When he fights against Deborah, there isn't really any contest. Gohan just wipes the floor with him using Super Saiyan 3, a form by this point he probably would have mastered. If Buu is revived, which is unlikely since nobody would get possessed, well, Gohan could probably just take him out with a simple Kamehameha. If you guys remember, Goku in the original story, while in Super Saiyan 3, could have actually killed Buu. He just didn't because he wanted the next generation to handle this threat on their own. This then led to everything that happened in the original arc, although Super Saiyan 3 Goku could have killed Majin Buu in that moment. Here, Gohan in Super Saiyan 3 himself would actually take care of the Majin if he were even to be released, which is highly unlikely but definitely possible. Now you might have noticed how I basically just breezed through most of Z in roughly 10 minutes. Well, that's because there wasn't really much to cover in terms of Z. For most of it, Gohan was a child and couldn't do much, and for the other parts, Gohan was so incredibly powerful there wasn't actually much for him to do. He just kinda had to come in, beat the bad guy, and save the day. It's not like there was anybody that could really contest with his Super Saiyan 2 or 3 power. After 7 years, Majin Buu was nothing to this version of Gohan, and in the Cell games, Goku or Gohan could have taken Cell out, and realistically, Goku probably would have come up with something to kill Cell without there being any casualties, a way where they didn't even really have to fight. But now, it's on to the real meat and potatoes of this part. The Battle of God Saga. Beerus would come to Earth in search of the Super Saiyan God. Goku wouldn't be off-planet training with King Kai, as he'd prefer to train with his son on Earth. Although none of them were training at the moment because it was Bulma's birthday. Everyone is celebrating and having a good time. Beerus would come and try to stop them now, but he actually would end up having a good time himself, getting some delicious foods as well as delicious beverages that would make the cat a bit tipsy, although that doesn't distract him from his original goal. He wants to find the Super Saiyan God, as well as get a proper fight from it. Although nobody there really knows about the Super Saiyan God. They have Super Saiyan, but no godly forms. Now, honestly, at this point, even if they can't find or create the Super Saiyan God, Beerus isn't going to destroy the planet. The Earth was something different. It was something almost magical. It was perfect, the perfect civilization in Beerus's eyes. It was advanced beyond belief. In fact, it was one of the most advanced civilizations in the entire universe, but at the same time, their people were just so fun, so entertaining. The cat god loved everything about the Earth that he had seen up to this point. They had so many fun games, activities, and, well, their food was just majestic. It was absolutely stunning. The entire planet was, and Beerus wouldn't want to just destroy that because he couldn't find the Super Saiyan God. The cat god would rarely even ever suggest destroying the planet, and when he would threaten this, Goku and Gohan didn't really believe he would. They still kept it in the back of their minds that he could do this, and they don't really know his morality too well, so he might do this, but they think that they have him all figured out. If he gets good food and good entertainment, he won't actually act on any of his threats. And they are absolutely correct. Now, eventually, Beerus would begin to take his leave, as even if they can't bring forth the Super Saiyan God, he has still had more than enough enjoyment out of this planet. Although Goku would have an idea. Why not ask Shenron about it? And Beerus is confused. Who's Shenron? And then Goku would explain that the dragonballs were sort of a keepsake of Earth, and something that has saved them more than enough times. And the dragonballs could probably tell them about the Super Saiyan God, or at least bring him there. Then they would summon Shenron, and he would give them some pretty interesting information. The Super Saiyan God wasn't a person, but rather a form, something that could be made through a ritual. And after the ritual is explained to them, Shenron would leave because he is absolutely terrified of Beerus, and then they would begin doing the ritual. And surprise, surprise, they don't have enough Saiyans, although, seeing as even though Gohan is still training like his father, still training in general, and still getting incredibly powerful, I do believe he would settle down with Videl. Now, this doesn't mean he's done training by any means. In fact, I suspect he'd be the person to become the Super Saiyan God, but he would still have a relationship with Videl, and Pan would still be born, meaning they can do the Super Saiyan God ritual. Beerus is overjoyed. Not only did he already have an excellent time here on Earth, but now he gets to fight against the Super Saiyan God. It's time to do what he came here for. Beerus would stand face to face with his ultimate rival. With his aura flaring, Beerus would stare down Gohan. Everyone would watch on as Gohan and Beerus go toe-to-toe, blow by blow sending ripples throughout the universe. Gohan is so much more incredibly powerful than his father was, especially in the original story, so this Super Saiyan God is way more powerful than the one Beerus faced in our original timeline. Here, Gohan is a lot stronger, as well as a lot more accepting of the Super Saiyan God's energy. So throughout the fight, he doesn't actually lose the Super Saiyan God power, he rather improves upon it. Honestly, Gohan might be able to use Super Saiyan Blue by the end of the fight, given his mastery over Super Saiyan and his acceptance over the God Ki. Although, I'll keep that for later instead of actually having him access it now. That just seems a bit too broken. But honestly, Gohan and Super Saiyan God would probably be comparable to Goku and Vegeta from Resurrection F in the original story. Gohan is so incredibly powerful that Beerus is actually having to take this fight a little more seriously. Gohan is certainly a formidable opponent, but keep in mind, Beerus' full power hasn't even been shown by where we are in the Dragon Ball Super manga currently. And suffice to say, Gohan here isn't as strong as characters like Black Frieza. Hell, Gohan Beast isn't, and that Gohan is far stronger than this one. So, Beerus is still able to beat him with relative ease, although would make a note of his insane power. and his incredible potential for growth. If he were to train under Whis, the possibilities are rather endless, and Beerus would even offer this to the Half Saiyan, and he would agree, wanting to see how strong he can truly get with this godly power. And that's where we're going to be ending things for today. I hope you enjoyed watching this, as I certainly enjoyed making it, and if you could, please like the video, subscribe to the page, and hit the notification bell if you haven't already. That way you're notified whenever I release any new videos. That would be very much appreciated. Thank you all so much for watching, and thank you all so much for 1,000 subscribers. This is, always has been, and always will be the Irishman. Talk to you later. Bye.